What's good, folks? Once again, this is SilentMode, maker, artist, and LEGO Enthusiast. A later than scheduled live stream tonight because I'm going to be building a Secret Santa gift that I picked up just today, but actually arrived at the beginning of this week. This is the bonsai tree from LEGO's Botanicals series, a very popular series. For those who are interested, set 10281, but that's not important right now. Let's get right into building it. The box is a little bit squeezed. That's raw mills doing. This is significant because I actually had to go back to where I used to live to pick up the raw mill cards, to pick it up from the sorting office. Fortunately, I was able to do that. I bumped into my old neighbors who had it, and was also very fortunate because the sorting office had just closed, but the very kind people got the package for me. And so here it is. How's it going, Kathy? I'm not going to call you Catherine Miley anymore. I know you don't like it. How are you doing, ma'am? Excuse me. Yeah, there's actually quite a few things to build, so I wanted to get this set out of the way, but this was a very generous Secret Santa gift, so I wanted to pay my respects to it. Alright, nice little pamphlets telling us about some ESG, about switching from plastic to paper. We're not supposed to call the poly bag sets poly bags as part of that. But yes, thanks for asking, Kathy. I'm doing all right. Sorry, give me a second. Gosh, I always have to clear my throat. I'm doing all right, although it's been a bittersweet end to the week. Quite a bit has gone on behind the scenes. Well, I don't know if you're aware or not, but quite a bit has gone on behind the scenes. Some good and not so good stuff, but I'm holding up okay. I'd like to believe that near the end of the year, things are starting to look up again. But there's been a bit of bad news all round, I will say. Try not to focus too much on that. Alright, so you guys have probably seen this before. You've probably seen your favorite YouTubers building this set and others like it. But this is my first time with a botanical set of any kind, so it's a new experience. Well, if you're not aware of it, then it's probably best that you don't get into it, I will say. Okay, so this set actually includes these plants from plants parts here. The ones pictured are the ones that are made from plant material, apparently. Sustainably sourced sugarcane. Let me not keep yapping, let's get into building. I don't have much space, I have a few other things going on behind the scenes, but we'll get right into the builds. We'll see if we can build this in one live stream. But yeah, as usual, I almost forgot to say, hope you guys are doing alright, those who are watching right now, and certainly hope you're doing better than I am. As I said, this week has been an interesting week in both a good and not so good way. But I do believe that things are starting to get better on my end. And that's how I want to take things into the new year. Focusing on things getting better and becoming better. Okay, so a bit of a spoiler alert. So I've seen that little Lego. Not sure if you guys are subscribed to him, but he has been building the Lego vending machine. I know that Mayor Hosko has built the Lego vending machine as well, and very soon you'll get to see me building the Lego vending machine because I bought it during the insider sale a couple of weeks ago. I spent pretty much all of my insider points getting that set, and it is still in the box because I'm waiting for a few other bits to arrive before I get really into the building. So you guys are you're probably going to be sick of seeing vending machines by the year end. That's assuming that I build everything before the year ends. But I'm not going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it in action. Yeah, ironically, the only day that I didn't buy anything was on Black Friday. So I went a little bit nuts. I bought quite a few things off of AliExpress. I've obviously bought things from the LEGO online websites. I bought a few things from the other sites, the alternative to Brick Owl, I will say. Even bought a few things on other sites as part of the whole promotion thing, but not on Black Friday itself. So you haven't seen it built, Kathy? Well, then you are in for a treat, and so am I, because I know that other people have built it, and I've seen excerpts of live streams of people building it, but I haven't seen it actually in action. And it's probably for the best because I don't like ruined surprises. Alright, so I'm going to put some music on after I've done this step. Just so I keep you guys somewhat awake. When will I build it? Well, I aim to build the Lego vending machine before the end of the year, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks, if not next week. I'm actually waiting for some more parts to arrive, some more things, before I begin building it. And you'll see why. There we go, let's have some music. All I'm going to say is that there is probably a good reason as to why you'd want to see me build the sets. Although you should really, well, I would say support anybody who, just about anybody who gets on the live stream and does these things. Well, you'll have to find out, Kathy. Just have to grab this part that's fallen on the floor. There we go. I do want to say thank you for joining me tonight. I know that there have been a few issues with people getting notified about these things. Although if you happen to just have come across this live stream, that's fine too. So while I'm doing this, some notable things from this week. Hopefully you guys have checked out Never Too Old's live stream with Breezy, which was, you know, I wasn't exaggerating. It was one of the best live streams I've seen this year. It gave me a lot of food for thought, in terms of the hobby, in terms of YouTube and everything. And it was a lot of fun to listen to. I'm pretty sure both Never Too Old and Breezy had fun as well. These things are always good to have an insight into people that I've never heard of before. And yeah, these live streams are a good way of having some quality time with your favorite people, and maybe even people you haven't heard of before. Which should also be a nice segue into the brick train crawl raids, whatever it's called. Basically, a bunch of us are getting together over New Year's Eve to celebrate the new year, and I'm very much looking forward to taking part. Yeah, there's a small handful of us taking part in this thing. Right now, I'm thinking about what I could possibly do during my stream or streams that would be fitting for the end of the year. I'm still thinking about various ideas, but it's going to be really interesting working with a bunch of other people. This is the kind of thing that I really would have liked to have done in other circles, but this is a good opportunity. Okay, so far so good. So yeah, one thing I did find out when I went back to the area I used to live to pick up this item. Very sad to hear that my old neighbour's pet died. And this was bearing in mind that I moved out just over a month ago. Yeah, they had a rather cute, slightly older, but they had a pug. It was adorable. Liked rough play, but how's it going, Owen? But yeah, very sad to hear about their pet dying or their dog dying, because I really liked that dog, but they had an accident and it just happened so suddenly. Got me thinking about this year being really strange and all kinds of things happening that I don't think anybody really expected it, apart from people who perhaps orchestrated a few things. I'm supposed to use these. But yeah. There are a couple of other things that I heard today that weren't so great, but one thing I'm starting to learn how to do is acknowledge that there are some things that weren't so great, but there are things that are particularly good as well. So here we finished building the base. We got these rubbery feet. We have this relatively new Lego piece here. Not well, let me try and take this off. What's done it before, but it's relatively new Lego piece. This is one way it can be used, and it's quite ingenious actually. You may remember this. Can't even speak. You may remember this, or a tire or something like this, being used in the Game Boy for the select and start buttons. And I haven't missed it. Sorry to hear about your dog, Kathy. That must be. Well, to hear about anything and anyone dying is really, really traumatic. Much more so to go through go through something like that. Definitely my condolences. We're on bag 2, and it looks like we're building the trunk of the bonsai tree in this one. Well, that's good to hear, Owen. Well, for those who don't know, Owen's gotten some new speakers recently. They're a combination of speakers and LED lights. And I don't know how much they cost, but it's good that the audio quality is at least decent. Whoops. I've dropped a piece, and I have no idea where it's gone, unfortunately. One drawback of these paper bags, at least I think I've dropped a piece. Oh dear, well we'll have to... Just a second. Okay, I think I may have found it. Hopefully I have. Yeah, the one thing I don't like about these paper bags is it's very easy to miss parts. Anyway, let's continue. £40 for those speakers. Actually reminded me, I have an old sound system that I got when I was at university. I should have all the parts for it, but it cost as much, if not less, when I bought it, and it was pretty decent. I may have to see if I can, excuse me, I may have to see if I can dig it out and give it a shot. I actually do have a tray, just not with me at the moment. You'll probably see it in the next live stream. So I actually found a really good tray that I can use. Somebody was throwing it out because they're building up some of the houses around here for multiple occupancy. They're getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff. And they threw out this really good tray, so I thought I'd repurpose it. The cloak? What cloak? Oh right, so yeah, this is my nightgown. I've actually taken to wearing it in the house because when I first moved in it was really cold, and I guess I've gotten used to wearing it. It's comfortable. Where is that piece? Looking for a 2 by... No, I'm actually looking for 2 1x2 plates. Fortunately, I do have heating now, and there's no way I would be talking so eloquently if there wasn't any heating. But yeah, I've heard that it's cold in Canada right now. I can only imagine. Yeah, if you don't have heating right now, I don't know what you're gonna do. Excuse me. Oh dear. Well, good that Kathy's heat is on. What kind of place doesn't have working central heating? I've got to ask. This is another piece that I generally wouldn't think of using. Kind of looks like a shield to me, but it's being used to perhaps good effects here. Do I need something to drink? I have something here, but I usually get something in my throat for some reason. It's probably because I don't talk very much. But yeah, thankfully I'm okay. So here we're building up the tree trunk. It's kind of hard to see how these dark brown pieces are being used here. But I am just about managing. I think this is how it's meant to go. I can't really see. Okay, there's two of them. Okay, there's one more that goes on top of here. Cool. But yes, I'm doing okay. As I said earlier, it's been a bittersweet end to the week. There have been some good and not so good things that have happened this week, especially near the end, but otherwise I'm okay, and I'd say it's been a relatively good week. I think it's about time I had one of those, to be absolutely honest. Okay, apparently there's nothing for this to hold on to just yet, so I'll just have to imagine that this is placed on here. There it is. Am I streaming tomorrow? I'm gonna be out all day tomorrow actually. So there's this one thing that I am aiming to be at in the morning, and well, I'll tell you guys actually. A while back I mentioned running into some basically some people from the Church of Latter-day Saints, and they've invited me to a brunch tomorrow morning. I just figured I'd go and check it out. Hopefully I'm not going to be in any danger or anything. And then after that, so I've got another engagement with a social group in the evening. So I'm pretty much going to be out all day. And then Sunday, I am probably going to do something else, maybe visit the folks, something like that. I'll be seeing plenty of them over the Christmas period, but there's no harm in going to see them beforehand. But the Christmas period is going to be rather busy, I think. There's a few things like to do before the end of the year. There's a few things I definitely intend to do before the end of the year. I don't actually put up any Christmas decorations anymore. So I don't have anything up. No, I leave that to the folks. They usually put up a tree and Christmas lights and everything. I just don't see any point, to be absolutely honest, because it's where I live at the moment, it's just me, and I don't really get into the Christmas spirit anymore for reasons I won't go into. Although if it makes any difference, I have a Lego tree somewhere. I kept it from one of the previous years, so maybe I'll dig that out. That's as much decorating as I'll probably do. How about you guys? Have you got your Christmas decorations up? And if you have, what kind of decorations do you have? Kind of hard to follow these things. Maybe I'm just dumb, who knows. That's in the wrong place. Alright, so Kathy's got a tree up. Owen doesn't bother with Christmas decorations. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to ask Kathy, what colour is your tree, if you don't mind me asking? Because obviously the traditional colour is green, especially if you have a natural tree. Some people have white Christmas trees. I remember way back when I was living somewhere else, I had a black Christmas tree. I thought that was quite interesting. So I got this right. Well, it looks like this at the moment. Let's see. Well, it's been raining over here as well. Not very Christmassy weather. I've not actually seen a pink Christmas tree before. Let me put it this way, I wouldn't want to, nor would I want anything to do with someone who would go around saying, hey, you know what would be great this Christmas? A pink Christmas tree. I would be all kinds of worried about that person's intentions. Okay, goes in here. Rather intricate build this. Okay. But yeah, pink Christmas tree, no. Absolutely not. I'm not sure if these are actually meant to be attached, but they're just... Or they are meant to be attached, my bad. It doesn't really indicate as much. But there. That make a lot more sense. Alright, so we have that. Looks like this at the moment. A Mr. Kipling themed Christmas tree. Well, that would make sense, I guess. Okay. It's actually very hard to follow these instructions because of the use of brown and dark brown. I'm gonna take a drink actually. Give me a second. Okay, you weren't supposed to hear that. You're frustrated. I think I know what you mean, because there, you know, to be absolutely honest, there are some times where I don't really have much to do, or there's nothing I really feel motivated to do, and I want to watch a video on YouTube, but there isn't anything that takes my fancy. At the same time, I'm a bit apprehensive about getting on the live stream because somebody else may jump on the live stream, and I don't want to interrupt anybody else's schedule or anything like that. Yeah, I've kind of messed up here. There we go, I think. Yep. Haven't damaged this too much. Excuse me. But yeah, my thoughts, I guess, as a, if you want to call me a content creator, is that if I can't find the entertainment, be the entertainment. Part of the reason why I jumped on the live stream tonight, although I did want to make sure that nobody else was streaming. Got some rather useful tree trunk pieces, tentacle pieces, whatever you want to call them. There's a note in the instructions here. This is one of the first times this particular element has been used in a LEGO set in a reddish brown color. Well, as far as sorting LEGO goes, that's something best done in sessions. You can do it all in one go, but it does get boring after a while. So I'm going to put them on like that. One goes here. I suppose the beauty of this set is once you figured out how it's built, you can make it in your own image. Okay. One of these will go here. And it will wrap around. And attach to this hook here. That's one of them. The other one also attaches to this piece. And it also goes around here. And I'm gonna guess it goes behind here and hooks onto this piece here. I think everybody should have a dressing gown or a nightgown, whatever you want to call it. And I think the last thing to do for this step is add these pieces here. Rather precarious, but it's possible to add them. That's one. Have this arm where this will clip on, and that attaches at the front. Like this. I'm just gonna have it like this. Nice one, Kathy. Nightgown crew. And put this in the container like so, and that's what we have at the moment. A Pikachu nightgown. Probably don't want to mention that out loud. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Whatever floats your boat. Look at this. Nothing but round tiles here, and that's. I'm pretty sure they got this idea from me. But round tiles are going to be used as, I guess, the compost, the gravel, whatever you want to call it, to fill in those gaps. And I say they got it from me because look at that, they're loose in this bag. I say they may have got it from me because I used that technique back in 2012, I want to say, for one of my creations, widely regarded as my best creation of all time. So I did something very similar where I filled a container full of medium stone grey round tiles, and it acted as gravel, and they've obviously used that same technique here except with coloured tiles. I see Never Too Old has landed. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you, man. And yes, if you just stepped in, not only am I building this bonsai tree, which was a Secret Santa gift from a very generous Secret Santa, but news just in, Owen is wearing a Pikachu nightgown. Yeah, that blew my mind too. Personally, I think they should have used a smaller bag for these tiles because trying to get these out without losing them is quite difficult. You see there's a rather unhelpful fold there as well. There we go. We managed to get them all out. And I think we're going to need... Okay, This isn't all of them. This is the nougat and dark tan ones. Excellent news. I've not heard of fusion bricks, but it's going to be interesting meeting some of these people, seeing some of these people live. And yeah, I would say though that even if we can't get very many people for this brick crawl, it's going to be an interesting one anyway. But I'm very much looking forward to it. So yeah, bag 3 is literally just this gravel, which is cool. And there's allegedly 50 of each color of tile. So we got the I think we got olive green, we got medium nougat, light nougat, and dark tan. That's all of them, I think. Spread them out a little bit, make it a little bit elegant. All right. Well, definitely not something that anyone should be harassed about. I can't see how anybody would want to harass somebody about it. But at the end of the day, it should be... Excuse me. Sorry about that. At the end of the day, it should be something that people want to join in on. And above all else, it should be, yeah, it should be something that people want to join in on. It should be fun, I think. And again, I'm certainly looking forward to it. I've still got to think about what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'll give you a call afterwards. I'll probably end up finishing this build. I don't think it's going to take that much longer. He says he pours out a whole bunch of green and bright green parts. But I think at this stage, let me just double check. Okay. At this stage, it's just putting on the leaves, or you can put on some cherry blossoms if you like, and then there's the wooden base. So I'm going to use the leaves. I'm very much a leaves person rather than a blossoms person. I think the whole thing about cherry blossoms is overrated, but you may disagree. And I think this is my very first time actually handling parts made from plant pieces made from plants. All right, where does this hook on to? No problem, never too old. I will speak to you later. Thanks for stopping by, man. So I think it goes here. If it doesn't, no, that does seem a bit loose. Maybe this goes on this other one, which wasn't made clear at all, but I found out now. Is it wise for you to go live on Monday going into Tuesday at 12 AM? Well, if you want to, then why not? I like to think that there's an audience for everybody and at just about any time. And I say whoever's up at that time will watch. Oh, I see. Well, okay, if there is that, without knowing too much about the situation, I'd probably say stick to the long form and short videos for now, because live streaming is a completely different beast. That's just my opinion. Okay. Got this so far. Oh, got to build 3 of these. Hopefully it won't take too long. Yeah, definitely I would suggest sticking to the edited videos, for now at least. That's what I would do. Okay, that's the 6 leaves. One thing I definitely have to do is get the lighting set up. How's it going, JDP? Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing these bits. You know, combinations of dark brown and reddish brown. So you guys must be having a field day trying to see what's going on. So I still have to arrange to get a new desk And thanks once again to Owen for sponsoring a new desk. Before I can move a new desk in, I have to remove an old sofa. I've got to figure out how to do that. But it is going to happen eventually. There we go, that's those three things. That's number 2. Alright, so JDP has already built this, and he went for the cherry blossoms. Yeah, personally I think cherry blossoms in general are overrated. I'm much more of a leaf person, but this is coming from someone who hasn't really seen them up close and personal. So, as with everything, your mileage may vary. Right, so now we plug these in, I'm guessing, to the tree trunks. Bring it a little bit closer. Ensure that the leaves are upright. So I've got it like this for the time being. Oh boy. Now, personally, I think we should have been told about these things before sticking the leaves onto the tree. Oh well. So we've got about 11 of these leaves per bunch, and I guess divide the rest of these pieces between them. And I'm just going to stick them anywhere, to be absolutely honest. Whatever seems right. Well, Owen, you can go to sleep, but you had better wake up. That is all I'm going to say. Waking up is required. Of these per group. I suppose the reason they didn't do this though is because the placement of these bits probably should be different for each group. So it would be quite monotonous to repeat these 3 times and then have the bits in different places. And it wouldn't look particularly natural either. How many is that? It's 6, 8, 9. A couple more. could spend all day doing this, I'd imagine. Heck, maybe somebody has. That'll be just a random idea, a very interesting idea for a live stream. 24 hours of bonsai tree pruning. Or perhaps a world record attempt at the most number of bonsai trees made or built in 24 hours. Just having random ideas, but maybe somebody will run away with one of them. Where do I get these ideas from? Well, I know where, but what's most important is if there's a good idea that somebody acts on it. It doesn't have to be me, it doesn't have to be your favorite YouTuber or anything. If it's a good idea and somebody runs with it, then and it works, then that's the most important thing. I was going to suggest a Never Too Old actually. One thing I think would be really good, purely for promoting the brick crawl, is when people go live on their streams, if you have at least one person watching the streams who, oh, I forgot about that, who takes clips of the live streams and posts them as shorts. That way it serves a dual purpose. It promotes the brick crawl for next year, and it also helps promote certain YouTubers, I suppose, but particularly highlighting interesting parts of their live stream. Yeah, I was just thinking about how I come up with some of these random ideas that just pop up into my head, and I think, well, I definitely know where those ideas come from. So I suppose the real question is, what makes me want to say them out loud? I guess the real answer to that is just a desire for somebody to actually give it a shot. So we're on the last part of this build now, and it's taken me about an hour to get to this stage. I'm not sure if it's slow or not, but this is for the benefit of those relaxing on a Friday evening, and this has been rather relaxing. This, I think, is what building is all about. Sure that all the parts are out of the bag. More brown, yes. I haven't seen this much brown since, I'm not gonna say what I was thinking. Yeah, but provided we're healthy, the only way we should see this much brown is in a Lego set, and that's all I'm gonna say. Oh no, it's not. I am very much in control of what I say. If I wasn't in control of what I say, I'd pretty much be going all day saying, I was like. I guess I take some pride in being one of the only people you know that doesn't go around saying, I was like, so. but that's another thing altogether. No, for full disclosure, and I'll be absolutely honest, I am borderline on the spectrum. Very much borderline. Normal enough to pass for being shouted at regularly. Crazy enough to be labelled insane. That's correct. Yep. And the crowd has gone silent. Okay, we had to build 2 of these, and I'm going to guess they fit together to make that frame. Okay. Where do those... Okay, gotcha. Very hard to see in these instructions, but we place these plates here. I believe. Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Well, without going too much into it, because I want to keep this stream somewhat lighthearted, that may be an experience that would certainly change people. So that's understandable. Okay, 1x6s, that's all we have here. Yeah, I had thought about getting myself this set, but it was always too expensive, I thought. And then obviously somebody bought this for me as a gift, which I really, really appreciate. This is one of those things where I think I could build it myself if I really wanted to, but I never have. But we'll say kudos to the designer, because obviously I don't think you'd be able to design a set like this if you didn't have passion about the subject matter. And for those who don't appreciate it, there are quite a few nice parts in this set as well for your own creations. find, which is over here. While I'm doing this, I will say, excuse me, it is really frustrating ordering parts from Lego's Bricks and Pieces. Thankfully it's not as bad as it used to be. There was a time when I had to wait a month to get the parts for whatever reason. But it's still really frustrating waiting for those bits to arrive. It's been about a couple of weeks now. Well, there was something rather disturbing on another person's YouTube video that I saw earlier in the week, and I'm having a tough time getting that image out of my head. That's a whole different subject, but you know, it's well, without going too far into it, it's amazing what some people will do for views. And then claim that it's funny. But anyway. We are almost there, I think. Although there are quite a few things left to do. I've got to build 13 of these in total. That's 4. Quite a few precious reddish brown tiles and dark brown plates and other bits here. Hopefully these aren't the brittle kind of reddish brown, otherwise that would be pretty bad. They seem to be okay at the moment. How's it going, Mayo? So Mayo, I've seen that you've built the Lego vending machine, and I know that Little Lego has started building the Lego vending machine, and I'm going to be joining you guys very soon. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. Good night, Owen. Right. I mean, I've only seen you two guys build that set, but I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of people have already built that set. But you may want to tune in when I finally get around to building that set. I'm not going to say why, you'll just have to find out. So we have this so far, which is quite a nice design. More or less studs free except for these bits underneath. What else is there to do? We've got to add a few more bits. These bits right here to reinforce the corners. Okay. Right, these slopes go into these 4 stud holes there, like that. Or at least that's where I'm putting them. Using ingots. I think this is the last bits, and then we are pretty much done. Last bit now. And that is pretty much it. There we go. Let me lower this a little bit so you guys can get a good look at it. That is, you guys have already seen this, but this is the bonsai tree. Okay. Just noticed this in the instructions. A minifigure tree. That is, well, I appreciate that. That's definitely an interesting take on it. So a few different variations of the bonsai tree at the back of the instructions. And then of course, if you want to, there's a few more here. And some encouragement to continue building this. You don't have to keep the set like this. But I'm glad that I received this as a gift rather than buying it myself. I will probably keep this somewhere in my flat. But this is a nice set and definitely something that makes a really nice gift. Alright, so I'm assuming that you're happy with the vending machine. At that price, I would certainly hope so. But that's cool. I mean, there's the option of just having this pot and recycling this thing for parts, which I probably will end up doing. Or you can have it displayed like this, and then just have to be concerned about this this thing sliding around. But in any case, that is the bonsai tree. I'm fairly happy with it, I would say. I think I will keep it around as a plastic plant. You won't see my place filled with these because I'm not really into botanicals like that, but this is a nice addition to the collection, I would say. And I've already done so. I've posted on Givin Gifts, which is where I took part in the Secret Santa. But thanks once again to the Secret Santa for gifting me this set. They went over budget and it was a very generous gift. I really appreciate it. Maybe next year we can get something going in terms of a Secret Santa in Brick Therapy or something. With that though, I am going to end the live stream here and thank you guys for joining in. Even on a Friday evening, I really appreciate you guys playing along. And until next time, whenever it is, this has been SilentMode, as it says right there, maker, artist, and LEGO enthusiasts, as usual encouraging you all to do your thing. I am ending.